What's up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here. Listen, I was minding my business first. Happy Sunday. But I am here to review this show called Swarm. But first of all, let me tell you, I was minding my business. Y'all know I had a 3-week run of Mama I Want to Sing, so I'm a little exhausted. I was working, doing that job in the evenings, in a musical, and taking care of my kids, holding out my 9 to 5 job and all that. So I'm exhausted. So I said, this weekend, I'm going to chill. I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to be laid back. But I went on Twitter. So technically, I wasn't really minding my business, right? If I go on Twitter, right? I go on Twitter and I see this sex scene that people are having a fit about. It's between Chloe Bailey and actor Damson Idris. I hope I said his name right. And they have this sex scene. I'm like, okay, what's the big deal? It's a sex scene. But everybody was in an uproar. I'm like, if it's a TV show, guess what? It's not real sex. There's cameras and everything. It's just a scene. Relax. So I'm like, okay, I saw that. Then I just kept seeing it. I'm like, what's the big deal? Then I kept seeing Swarm. And then I saw somebody say they were offended because they felt like this was a slap at Beyonce. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Because I had no clue. I didn't watch. And then I see my cousin post something like, oh, this Swarm show on Facebook. She wrote on Facebook, oh, Swarm, it was stupid. Then somebody else said, oh, it's brilliant. So I said, okay, now, what is this? So when I turned on my Amazon Prime Video and tuned into Swarm, let me tell you, I went in this blindly. I had no clue. I didn't see any trailers, no previews. So I didn't know what I was getting into. When I turned on that first episode today, I was like, what in the world is this? But I could not turn away. So let me tell you what the premise of this Swarm show is. It tells the story of this young lady named Dre, who is a young woman who is obsessed with this fictional pop star named Niger. Now, I see why somebody wrote on Twitter, oh, it's an insult to Beyonce. I guess this is a Beehive person who was offended because Niger has so many similarities to the Queen Beyonce. So basically, it's basically a fictional version of her and this fan base known as the Swarm, while Beyonce has the Beehive. So I said, clever. So this woman, Dre Green, is played by, and brilliantly, I might say, played by Dominique Fishback. I'm not really familiar with Dominique Fishback, but I'm checking for her now because let me tell you, she was brilliant in this. Listen, the show is weird, it's crazy, it's wild, it's off-putting at times, but I couldn't look away. I was like, what's going on? At first I was like, nah, this ain't for me. What is this? But she does such a brilliant job. Her character of Andrea Green, or whatever her name is this woman is so weird and awkward and scary and clumsy. Like she's just all these things in one, and naive and all she did it all and crazy. But the way she played this is not over the top. It's nuanced. There's mannerisms, even the way her body language and the way she's dressed and the way she speaks. I was like, yo, this woman is nuts. But the actress was like, she did a great job, and I would like to see her in some more things. I'm not familiar with her. If y'all know I got to research her to see what else she's in because I really was impressed. She's got range because she didn't just play this like a one-note thing, in my opinion. I felt like the character had layers to the crazy, if that makes sense. She had layers to the crazy, and I was like, ooh. And her reality is different from our reality. And the show was just like, and like I said, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So Dre lives with her. We find out her foster sister, Marissa, played by Chloe Bailey, who is the life of the part, the more outgoing one who has these aspirations, I believe, to be a makeup artist. She has this boyfriend, Khalid, and they're having sex, and they have more of a personality than she does. They're living. And she seems like the Cinderella of the house to me. That's how it looked. She's doing all the going shopping and doing all this, and they're just more lively than her. And I was like, okay. And when I tell you after that, and we're gonna say spoilers just in case somebody hasn't seen. I'm gonna say spoilers. After that, unfortunately, she does something that pisses Marissa off. So then, unfortunately, Marissa ends up dying. And they say it's a suicide. And this is when Dre loses it and just spirals out of control. And she goes on like this killing spree throughout the series. So she's killing folk because they don't like her favorite pop star, Niger. And then you see all these references to Niger that are very similar to the Beehive and Beyonce, the elevator incident, somebody who bit. Remember the whole thing with some celebrity supposedly bit Beyonce. So they have this thing, who bit Niger. They do pull a lot of that, and you have someone say, "Oh, I like her sister better. She seems more down to earth. Her music is more down or more real." Talking about Solange. So the parallel is there, and I was like, okay, interesting. But when I tell you, Dre goes on this spree, and I'm like, what is this girl's motive? Why are you killing people because they don't like your favorite singer? Everybody's not gonna like the same person. That's why it's millions of us, or more than, what is it, billions of us on this earth. Millions, billions, whatever. It's a bunch of us on this earth. There's different artists to choose from. Everybody ain't gonna like your favorite artist, sweetheart. This is just not gonna happen. So I was fascinated with that, and I like how this pretty much tackled that obsession, fan obsession, and pop culture, and how far is too far? How do we go too far? And it's put up a mirror on us and showing sometimes, you fan bases go too far. Y'all dox people, you're putting the address out there, you're threatening people, and how far is too far? And apparently with Dre, too far, she killing people. She going way too far. But you know what, y'all? I think it's deeper than that as well. That's the surface. That's the plot right there. But I think what I got from this is, not only is it about that, the pop culture and all that, it's about these people that are mentally ill, how we sweep mental illness under the rug. Somebody's weird. We just, oh, they weird, they nerdy, they this and that. No, the person may need some kind of help. They got some psychological problems. So I also think it tackled that as well. Like, this is somebody who screws is loose, and you know how we do, we kind of sweep the screws loose. Oh, pray for her, go pray for her. Oh, she ain't well, she ain't wrapped too tight, we just gonna pray for her, instead of getting that person some help, and her coming up through the system and all that. But I will say, I never felt sorry for this character. Well, no, she always made me feel uneasy, even from maybe I say the first episode, the first scene or something, I felt a little bit sorry for, but she always made me feel uncomfortable, which means this actress was great, because I was like, I don't like her. But I couldn't turn away. Then I was like, do I feel sorry for her? I really didn't, but I was like afraid of her, and I thought she was weird and crazy. And I'm like, but the actress did a great job, because look at all these emotions I'm getting from this. And I'm like, yo, this woman is crazy. And I just couldn't believe. I was like, very clever how they have somebody killing in the sake of their favorite star. And I'm like, your motive is stupid. But it's more to it. It's the mental health issues. So what did you guys think about it? Did you enjoy it? I think my favorite, I like the first episode was kind of off-putting, but it made me want to keep watching. I believe one of the episodes I enjoyed the most was when she went to her foster parents' home, and we got a backstory from them, and we saw the actor Leon in that as the foster parent, and I thought that scene was great, good acting in that as well as the episode that was kind of like a one-off. It was different from all the other ones, where they did like this docu-series, those crime docu-series style thing, where they were focusing on the murders, and this one detective who I thought she did a hilarious job playing that detective. Loretta Green, played by actress Heather Sims, and it was called Falling Through the Cracks, I believe the episode was called. And it was this show, and she was putting together a common thread of all these different killings. The way she played that, the actress that played Loretta Green, I enjoyed her character. I thought she was funny, and the way they played that off, and she's piecing it together. And so then we have the way the show ended, which was kind of open-ended. We see Dre meeting Niger, and she bum rushed the stage, similar to somebody did that to Beyonce recently. She bum rushed the stage, but this time she's like, no, let her up, leave her alone. And then she puts her in the car with her. I don't believe that really happened. What I think is that that Dre is hallucinating. But I like they left it open ended for us to interpret. And then I did some research. I started Googling, and the producers and the executive producers and creators said they did that on purpose to leave it open ended for our interpretation. So this is my interpretation. My interpretation is she got caught, she got arrested when she jumped up on that stage like that, and she is fantasizing about the rest of this stuff. Now, I don't know if they're going to do a season 2, but they just might. I don't think they need to, though. But I thought, my interpretation, I feel like the episode before the final episode where they did the one with the detective, that was the detective putting it together. I believe this lady was caught. I believe she got caught when she went to that concert and did what she did. And she's just fantasizing the rest of it. But it was an interesting take. Tell me your thoughts. How did you feel about this show if you watched it? Tell me how you felt about the show. Did you like it? Did you think it was stupid? Did you think it's overrated? I thought it was interesting. It was interesting. And the performances, the acting was great in it. So that's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video.